They had Halloween festivities. Did you know this, Jay?
I did.
They had trick-or-treating and a pumpkin contest in the building today.
Oh, I did know that.
Yeah.
I did know that.
It's not Halloween. That's tomorrow.
Nah,
but
come
okay.
on, man. We one step.
All right.
You know why? Because nobody comes in the office on Fridays but me and you.
That's it. Speaking of scary, the 49ers visiting Metlife Stadium and the Turf of Terror this week. With more on that, more on what's going on in the National Football League. Not at his bowling alley this week?
No. I believe he's on the East Coast.
All right.
Jumping in front of the weather before it starts to snow and he don't want to fly in, as he talked about.
8-year NFL veteran. Right, yeah. At Stevie Johnson. How are you, Stevie? What's going on?
I'm good, brother. It's good to be back on, man. I'm actually flying. I just flew back from Buffalo. Around this time, the Halloween time is when the weather starts changing and getting cold. So I'm back in San Diego thawing out.
Oh, that boy smart.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that is smart. Stevie, the 49ers playing at MetLife this week. 2020, week 2, that suffered a ton of injuries. That turf is well known or notorious for causing injuries. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on playing on artificial turf as opposed to natural grass.
Oh, man, it's one of those things in the back of your mind. Like, if you've already experienced the injury, you have it in the back of your mind. You don't want to think about it. It's beneficial, and it's one of those things where it's a problem because on those turf fields, you can actually run faster. You don't sink in as much, but that's also where the problem lies. There's no give, and it's a 50-50 shot with it. You just pray that guys get out of there healthy. And for our team with the Niners, good thing they don't have to play there every week. It's not their hometown, so just hopefully the Jets can keep their health up.
Mm-hmm. So is that the type of thing, though, that as a player sometimes it's something you can become aware of, which is probably not a good thing to be thinking about? Ooh, this turf is a little dangerous.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. A lot of the guys, they aren't overthinking about it, because if they were, really they wouldn't be playing. They wouldn't suit up, So it's one of those things like, hey, in the NFL, any play can be your last. Yet you still go out there and you give your hardest because you're an ultimate competitor and you want to, prove people wrong and prove certain people right. So you don't really think about the injuries and the potential risk that you're really thinking about the successes.
Stevie, MetLife came around 2010. Did you have an opportunity to play out there?
Yeah. I had scored a few touchdowns out there.
That boy.
That boy. And again, we didn't think about the injuries. Obviously, we knew what can happen, but once the game start, it's just like people ask me about the weather in Buffalo. Yeah, it's hella cold, but when the game starts, you don't feel it, honestly, until you start sitting down,
Bring them heaters up.
Yeah. Hey, right straight to the heaters, get the jacket off. But once, defense got a turnover, throwing that jacket off, we out there. We don't feel nothing. So, it's just adrenaline.
When it was really, really cold, like low teens or sub-zero, did you have to change the way you tried to catch the football? Because if you can't feel with your fingers, maybe you use your arms more. Did you have to change your strategy when it came to catching a football?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great question, actually. And some guys did and some guys didn't. So here's a story. Lee Evans. Lee Evans, he learned how to catch the ball with like straight body on everything. Whether it was a slant, everything, it was like this. And they said he developed that when it was cold because his fingers used to be so cold out there. And that got me having to learn how to catch it like this, use your hands and all that stuff. But I didn't have that body catch, that we see Rice doing so well. The OGs usually did that one really well with the body catching. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it definitely gets certain players to switch up their game. Me, I still had to just keep my hands in a warmer all the way up until the play started. And then I'm using my hands.
Off the top, real fast, and I know we're talking a little Niner, who's the one that you were catching passes from in the cold and maybe not even the cold? And you were like, man, bro, got Nolan Ryan on that ball. Like, who was that person?
Bro, Kaepernick. Kaepernick was that guy. Before I even move on, look, the one that pass I missed, I tried to let it do the body thing and it freaking slipped off my chest. But I'm just going on.
We ain't bringing up old stuff. Come on, Stevie.
I had to get that off my chest. I can't just let it flow. It was on my mind. But Kaepernick, brother. Like I remember signing with the Niners, and one of my homies, Kasim Osgood. Sorry, I gotta put you out there like that, Kasim, but man, he had a knot on his eye. I'm like, yo, what happened to you, man? Cap. Like, yo, Cap did that. What's going on? And I'm like, dude, my route's already off timing, so I'm not trying to have my eye looking like what happened to you, brother. So I end up, like I said, hitting up Kaepernick, like, yo, can we work out on the off day? And he was cool enough to do it, and we got in the lab for about 2-3 hours, and the rest was history. We was good.
Man. Stevie, for people that play flag or just pick up football, I love to ask NFL players this question. What is your go-to play call? What's the play call that you're sure of? I think Charlie Gardner told me one time the pick play. So he said it works every time. What's your go-to play in a pickup or flag football?
Dang, see, for mine, it was a play called spoon, and it was a concept. It was 4 seams, and it's so simple. However, within those seams, there's multiple routes that can be done. So the slot guys, you can either have a vertical burst, and you can either look for it over the top. If there's one safety, obviously one of those seams will be open. And if there's cover 2 with 2 safeties, then those seams aren't just bursts, they're benders now. So, it's multiple, it's like an option route. And then if you have people playing off like a prevent, you don't run into the prevent, you just break it off into a hitch. So it's really 3 routes in one. That's only in the slot. The outside has the similar thing with hitches, and then you can get tricky as far as like Peyton Manning would do this all the time. They would call it literally bender all game, and they just did different variations of it on the outside, either hitch or they'll do a delay hitch, delay slant, come inside, but those benders are still taking the top off. So that's one of my plays, one of my schemes that I really love, but it's the way you teach it, though. It's not just 4 verticals. It's multiple routes in one package.
Man, joined by Stevie Johnson, Mr. Himothy himself. Stevie, the offensive line has been ravaged, of course, by some injuries, and now they let go of Mr. Moss. What's your thoughts on the O-line up to this point when it comes to the 49ers? Because I think it seems like it has probably been the worst, squad part of this team.
Yeah, unfortunately, and that's what you need to be the most stout position, the O linemen. But the thing is, everybody's going through it. Every team in the league will go through a situation where their linemen or the running backs, the skill players, somebody's going to get injured. So that's where you look at the offseason. Offseason, you got to load up on players. So when these things, the inevitable happens, you're prepared for it. And right now, I would say that the Niners are, they're somewhat prepared for it because the guys aren't looking lost out there. It's just they're figuring out the speed, considering the position that they're being put in. But still, I think they're still competing. So they'll get better as the season goes. We're going into the second half, and they'll get healthy. We got George Kittle back, and he's already getting 4 targets, 43 yards, and that's coming off of an injury. So it's still time to grow for this team.
Stevie Johnson with us. Stevie, when you have an offensive line right now that the Niners have where you've got some injuries, you've got some guys that aren't playing great, but then you've got a left tackle, you've got one of the greatest offensive linemen of all time. So how much can you scheme just repeatedly to take advantage of Trent Williams on the left end?
Oh, man, I guess as much as Trent can take, good thing he's in shape. Good thing we got guys like McCaffrey. Good thing we got a playmaking quarterback that's in a position to play make in Mac Jones. And he also got a rapport with some receivers, although they're also depleted in that position. So good thing we got guys in a mindset, a coach's mindset that can give energy to this team. Because if you didn't have that, who knows where this team would be right now, considering the injuries that they've dealt with. So guys are playing good. They ran into a team in Houston who's got an excellent pass rush, and it showed. Yeah. And unfortunately, we couldn't get no pressure on C.J. Stroud, and I feel like that's when he's at his worst, when you get pressure on him, and we just couldn't get that on him.
Stevie, man, somebody that the 49ers grabbed early prior to the season, maybe a week and a half before, was B-Rob, Brian Robinson Jr. He's got 36 rushing attempts through 8 games, man. That, to me, that's just not enough. Am I mistaken in the fact that we need to see B-Rob a little more, although we do have a, Swiss Army knife in Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah, and that's the same, dude. It's the same thing that I would say with the Buffalo Bills, like they got to utilize their pieces. The 49ers have, and the thing that I say with my Buffalo Bills community, look at what the 49ers are doing with Christian McCaffrey. So the thing is, the Niners, they know how to scheme it up. It's just to the point where now I think the faithful is asking for other options right now because we know what McCaffrey can do. Similar to with the Buffalo Bills, like we know what Josh Allen can do. We don't need to see him doing playmaker mode all the time. Let's let him manage games. Let's get Brian Robinson more touches so that he can be more of a threat where Mac Jones cannot just, depend on McCaffrey or depend on trying to go to Kendrick Bourne, or injured Jawan Jennings or injured George Kittle. You know what I'm saying? Like utilize these guys that you brought in, make them earn their money, and Rob is ready for it.
How confident are you, speaking of your Bills, that they can bring down the Chiefs?
Big time.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what the thing is? They beat them in a regular season 4 out of the 5 times, I believe, and that hasn't been the issue. The issue has been beating them in the playoffs when it matters. So I would say it's nothing on the players. It's all on the coaching. It's all on Coach Brady, whether he's going to be prepared for Coach Spagnola's pressure and his defense and his blitz, or is he go act as if, his linemen are going to hold up strong forever and, deal with it. And we'll see what happens.
Stevie, I want to ask you about Lamar Jackson coming back tonight too as well, but I just thought about something. Man, you played in 2 of the best fan groups there are with the Bills Mafia and the Faithful. You ever sit back and think about that?
Dude, yeah, dude. I
didn't think about
literally a blessing. It's a
blessing.
And then I end up living here in San Diego where the missus love. So it's it's definitely a blessing, man, to play for both teams. And me being from San Francisco, man, that's smooth, being able to score a touchdown, in the stadium, put on the jersey. That's everything, man, to represent from Hunters Point to playing in the stadium for the team, man. It was great. It was great, man.
Yeah. Stevie, I wanted to ask you about the trade deadline. Who knows if the Niners will be able to do anything. Supposedly they're trying to get somebody like Trey Hendrickson, big fish. We'll see if they do. What is it like for teams in the locker room when your front office goes out at the deadline and brings in help? And, I assume it's a sign to the team like, we believe in you. How energizing is that to a club when they actually go out, the front office gets help at the deadline?
Yeah, that's huge. It's huge. It just shows that they're like one of us. You know what I mean? Like you feel what we going through. You see that we're down a few players. I was assuming the 49ers would have went at the Bills and tried to pick up like a Matt Milano. Because Matt Milano's dealing with some injuries, but he's able to play. And they got guys that stepped up. So I felt like with, Fred Warner's injury, I thought during the trade deadline they might try to reach out to somebody like that. But whether they do or whether they don't, I guess it depends on what position your team is in. And I guess the ones that's looking for the trades, they're in some type of position. So, as a player, when you see those new guys come in, you like excited. I remember when Sean Merriman came in to Buffalo, and I was like, man, we didn't really sign guys like that. He was on his later side of his career, but it was like, oh, you see management trying. They making an effort now. It ain't just the same old. So, it give you a sense of pride.
Stevie, we're joined by Stevie Johnson, former NFL wide receiver, now, of course, part of the family of the Drive guys. Man, we're basically at the middle of the season or close to the middle of the season. What's your take as a former player as you creep up to the middle of the season? You see that win column above that loss column. What is your thoughts as you moving forward? You just talked about, hey, look, front office, you guys see our pain. You see we're trying to win. You see we're trying to get somewhere. What's your thoughts on the player? We're in the middle of the season now. What's your thoughts as you guys move forward?
Body work.
Ooh.
We spoke on this a few episodes ago, and it was like that part is the most important right now. Yeah, you want to see players come in and help the team, but you are also in a point where you're rolling, and you've dealt with maybe some injuries. You still got a whole half of a season to go, not to mention if you're in contention for playoffs, that's a whole nother, situation to prepare for. So at this point, you got to be heavy on body work, maybe get to the facility a little bit earlier. when I say a little bit, a couple hours earlier, you know, to get more of that recovery, more strength conditioning in, and that'll sustain you to not you know, fade towards the end of the year when things actually get more fired up. So yeah, I would say more so on body, and let the management do what the management do, whether they pick up people or not. You got to focus on your body.
Mm-hmm. Stevie, I've got a huddle etiquette question for you, and maybe you've been through this. I would guess you have. What is it like if you're a receiver and you know you're getting open, and the quarterback either isn't looking or he's just not throwing you the ball, and you know you can beat your man and he's not looking? I don't know. You have to. What's the etiquette there for the receiver? How do you let him know when sometimes maybe like, hey, no, you don't understand? I mean, how far do you push it? What's the etiquette there?
Yeah, it depends on how your team is doing, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
If your team is great and doing well, the etiquette is hold it in and discuss it in the locker room or somewhere off the camera where nobody can see it. If your team is losing, the etiquette is to do the same thing. But me personally, I've shown all types of bad body languages. You know, I didn't go as far as to talk at my quarterback, you know, but I definitely was. Like,
you was demonstrative. Yeah.
Yeah, like, man, come on. I could have held it in a little bit better. My etiquette wasn't as good as I am as a coach, you know what I mean? Mentor role, but yeah, it's frustrating though, you know, but you gotta understand what situation you in. I'm assuming you alluding to like an AJ Brown situation, where he's asking for the ball because he know he's gonna be open. Yeah, we know that, but do we need to do that right now? Like I don't think we need to. That's thinking as a team player.
Sure.
If you think it as an individual, they go use it against you when it comes like contract talk. That's the most brutal part of the game, and it's so unfair. That's funny. We was talking about this with James Cook. They was talking about all the things that he couldn't do. But on the same side, the coaches are the ones sitting them out, not letting them go do the things that they're now blaming them for. So it's a tricky situation with AJ. Keon Coleman is a tricky situation with him because how can he demand the ball more to prove what he got when you're on a winning team? You know, so it's kind of tricky and it's unfair, but at the same time, you know, you joined this business and it's not fair. It ain't fair at all, but you got to deal with it.
It's always seemed to me that receivers have to be vocal because they rely on someone else to give them the ball. You know, hey, you got to throw me the ball, so you got to let people know. Have you in a huddle, or have you ever seen, or you personally, have you ever like told the quarterback,
throw me the rock.
Give me the ball. I'm beating this guy every time.
So
that's a yes. Come on, bro. That's a yes. You ain't got to talk about it.
I don't blame you if you have. Yeah.
Yes, and no. I'm gonna say, all right, no. I haven't done it mostly because I always gave my quarterback the respect, like, you know, something must have happened for you not to, or you don't need to be hearing me going at you or saying this directly at you. If you see me kind of flashes, like it's for a reason, you know, because they know me in the locker room. I'm not that type of person. Yeah. But then, yes, I've done this before because I understood the defense. I understood the play. I went to my quarterback, my young quarterback, and told him, where coach is telling you to throw is not going to work. They're going to be on that. Look for me in the back of the end zone, and I'm going to be there. And he did what the coach said as opposed to looking for me, and interception to the house.
Big 6. See, I already knew it. Yeah.
To the house.
And again, I didn't say nothing at him. I had bad body language. I didn't chase the guy down. It was bad on my part, but it was like, brother, I literally told you this was going to happen, and you didn't, you know. So I just like, I'm done with you.
Hey, I ain't got nothing else for you, man.
And honestly, that was the wrong reaction, though. Yeah, I should have been better on that, but I'm answering your question.
I appreciate that.
100%, man.
You can't throw the ball to yourself. Yeah, I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, look, man, we understand you in coach and mentor mode. You matured now. You're an OG in the league and you're an analyst. We understand, but we also know we all strapped it up. Yeah, hey, man, give me the damn ball, man. Give me the ball. Stop throwing the rock over there and give it to me. Real fast before we let you go, my last one, Lamar Jackson, bouncing back, former MVP, one of the faces of the league. Absolutely fantastic, bouncing back, 2-5. People in Baltimore believe they still have an opportunity because the savior is coming back. What's your thoughts on Lamar coming back first time since week 4?
Yeah, first of all, I'm excited that he's playing back at the crib, in South Florida. This will be his first game back, and considering it's coming off of the hamstring, I'm looking forward to seeing him take off. With that division or that conference, yeah, it's easy for them to come back. They're at what 2-3 or whatnot, and the next top team is the Pittsburgh Steelers with 4-3, and they're kind of on the bubble. We don't know if we can trust that team. So yeah, if Lamar's healthy, you gotta assume that he's going to get more victories than lose them, considering he had 2 to 3 weeks of rest in recovery. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play back at home.
Stevie, you're the best. Thank you so much for your insight and your honesty.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. Enjoy the games. We'll talk to you next week.
Love. Take care, brothers.
All right, big time.
Stevie!
Enjoying that San Diego